Hello everyone, how's your week? And welcome back to Pacific Front channel. Today, we're back with Indo-Pacific News, where I recap some of the most interesting news in the Indo-Pacific region each month. But this time, it's gonna be a bit different. For today's video, I only prepared 2 topics rather than 5. Besides the fact that these 2 are the hottest topic of this month, I feel like we need to discuss it properly and thoroughly. And combining them with 3 other topics will only make the video duration even longer. So anyway, without further ado, let's start with the first news. As I mentioned before in my community post, UK shipbuilder Babcock and the Indonesian state-owned shipbuilder PT PAL have signed an agreement to sell a design license of their Arrowhead 140 frigate, an export version of the Royal Navy Type 31 frigate. The agreement was signed at the DSEI 2021 event in London on board HMS Argyle, signed by Babcock and PT PAL CEO and witnessed by the Indonesian Ministry of Defense and the UK Defense Secretary. According to Babcock official statement, the design license will enable PAL to build 2 Arrowhead 140 frigates in Indonesia with bespoke design modification for the Indonesian Navy. The baseline Arrowhead 140 design can be configured to meet a broad range of naval requirements. And with Babcock support, PAL will now engineer the required modification to configure the Arrowhead 140 for the Indonesian customer. Furthermore, PT PAL in their Instagram post said that the new vessel will be built within 69 months after the contract is signed. They will be equipped with 24 cells of medium-range surface-to-air missiles, 32 cells of long-range surface-to-air missiles, and 16 cells of long-range surface-to-surface missiles, which will be installed later on using the feed-it-for but not with method. But what type of missile they are, we still don't know. What's your prediction? To clear a misunderstanding that's still circulating, I will say it once again. This agreement is the replacement of the Iver-Huitfeldt contract, not an additional contract to reinforce the Iver-Huitfeldt orders. OMT, the Danish designer who made Iver-Huitfeldt, sold the design to Babcock, and now they are the owner of the vessel's intellectual property. So Indonesia must be dealing with the new owner if we want to build the vessels locally. There are several interesting points from both companies' statements. According to Babcock, the license will enable PAL to build the vessels locally. But I'm not sure if that means it will be 100% constructed in Indonesia, or if there will be some modules that will be constructed in the Babcock facility in the UK. Either way, it will be greatly beneficial for PAL and Indonesia. Babcock also said that the vessel will be tailored to meet the Indonesian customer, but they didn't say what kind of modification it would be. Is it the longer version of the design just like the rumor says, or a modification to accommodate different roles and mission systems? As we know, the Type 31 of the Royal Navy is a multi-role frigate, while based on the specification released by PT PAL, it's definitely an AAW frigate. Speaking of the Arrowhead 140, the design has several key characteristics such as adaptability, flexibility, also price point and value for money through life, which make it very competitive and appealing in the international market. Her dimension enables a high degree of adaptability for a wide range of roles, and possesses a flexibility to change her role in the future should operational conditions change. A more affordable price will help Indonesia to replace our older frigates on one-on-one basis with proven future-proof design without sacrificing the quality and capability. Now let's move to the second news. On 15 September 2021, the Prime Minister of Australia, UK, and the US President announced an enhanced trilateral security partnership between Australia, the UK, and the US called AUKUS. The partnership will see the 3 countries share technology to improve their defensive capability, including cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, and underwater system. The first major initiative under AUKUS is to help Australia to build at least 8 nuclear-powered submarines in Australian soil, meaning that the Australian government will no longer continue the Attack-class submarine program with France. Australia, the UK, and the US have committed to a comprehensive program of work over the next 18 months that will bring this capability into service. And this period will be used to examine the fuel requirements that underpin nuclear stewardship with a specific focus on safety, design, construction, operation, maintenance, disposal, regulation, training, environmental protection, and more. the alliance itself has caused mixed reaction, especially in the Indo-Pacific region. China, of course, criticized it. The Chinese embassy in the US quickly released a statement saying countries must shake off their Cold War mentality and ideological prejudice. And cited from Nikkei Asia, the Philippines openly welcomes the new alliance existence, while two core ASEAN members, Indonesia and Malaysia, expressed alarm over the potential nuclearization in the region. Australia's ambassador to ASEAN quickly tried to ease concern in Southeast Asia and pledged that they will not seek nuclear weapons, and promised that AUKUS will not change the Indo-Pacific security architecture led by the Southeast Asian bloc. What is the background of this new alliance? According to Scott Lucas, an ex-professor of international politics at the University of Birmingham, said that there is a different motive for each country. For Australia, is the conventional submarine deal with France in 2016. Cost overruns, significant delays, and reduced Australian industry involvement, aggravating the Australian government. With these cost overruns, Naval Group pushed the price tag of conventional submarine up to the range normally associated with nuclear power submarines. The new alliance opens a new alternative for Australia's future submarine capability. For the UK, this is the chance for the UK after Brexit and isolating itself from Europe to say that they are global Britain. They are very important with a focus on the Indo-Pacific region. And for the US, it's a sign after the aftermath of Afghanistan that they are a world leader. And this is a toughening of Washington lines face-to-face with China in the near future. I can understand Indonesia's concern about the new alliance, especially if there will be a nuclear submarine involved. When the days come, Indonesia will be sandwiched by two countries with nuclear-powered submarine on their hand, operating in both ends of Indonesian waters. Furthermore, if things go south, Indonesia will be caught in the crossfire. Even though Australia cannot have a nuclear weapons under the Non-Proliferation Treaty, from a defense perspective, that's still nerve-wracking in my opinion. I'm not gonna say it will result in an arms race, but this development will force Indonesia to keep up our game even more. We have to, if we don't want to get stampeded by two elephants. We must modernize our equipment, especially in the aspect that we are still lacking, such as modern air and surface surveillance radar, air and coastal defense system, also underwater surveillance and detection capability. Personally, my support is inclined towards the alliance. First of all, it's China's behavior and their assertiveness in the region that force another powerhouse to make a stand. So it's their own action, both directly and indirectly, that resulted in the current situation. The blessing in disguise from this situation is that now, Indonesia's defense procurement program is progressing even faster, and we can access fancy equipment like never before. So thank you, I guess. My only disappointment is how they announced the creation of a new alliance without telling and consulting with the ASEAN member beforehand. For me, it's like people are throwing a party in my front yard without inviting me. ASEAN itself has our own vision of regional order. So if they want to be accepted and trusted, it's very important for AUKUS to synchronize their vision with ours. Not announce first, extinguish the fire later. With the complex relationship between ASEAN and AUKUS member with China, I hope AUKUS can be a counterbalance to uphold the peace and stability in the region, and not to use it as a tool to target or attack China. There you have it, two of the hottest news in the Indo-Pacific region in September 2021. What do you think about the AUKUS Security Alliance? Do you support or against it? Let me know in the comment section below. And as always, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends and family, subscribe for more, and I will see you next time.